Well, welcome back everybody to our next webinar. I'm really happy to welcome you back. For now, I will have Christian Pollklesener with me. He is from the AMCS group, and he will talk a little bit about the processes from A to Z with AMCS Recycling Software and what you can do with that. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much. Have fun, you all. And yeah, Christian, let's go.
Yeah, very warm welcome from my side. We have a great presentation today. The topic is your processes from A to Z with RACI AMCS. And I would directly start to give you a quick introduction. So the presenter today is myself, Christian Pollklesener. I'm head of professional services in the office of Munich. I started here in 2007 and I got 13 years experience so far in this industrial sector. AMCS and RACI, like we had in the topic, they might be familiar for you in a single view, but now they are together. So let's take a quick look how these two companies act together and how this came up. So about RACI, it was founded in 1985, has at the moment 4 offices with a staff of around 50 people and more than 600 customers in place. About AMCS, it was founded in 2003. There are at the moment 22 offices, staff of more than 600 people with more than 2,700 customers in 23 countries, and there are more than 70,000 trucks in administration through the systems of AMCS. To give you a quick overview about the large accounts or the large customers of RACI, of the product RACI, which is integrated in the AMCS product world. We have customers like TSR, which is acting in whole of Europe with more than 800 users using the system. We have the Scholz Group, also acting in Europe, in the States, in China, with more than 700 users. Commercial Metals, the Loacker Group, so very big companies who are using RACI and following the processes with the software. And we will show you how you can also support your processes with our software. So that's our next topic. First of all, some more general points about the software. RACI is currently installed in 42 countries. You can see it's in Europe, North America, and Asia with these 600 customers, especially in the recycling and waste management industry. We are serving more than 16 languages, so everyone should be included, or every let's say important language should be included in here. And if not, there are also, of course, possibilities to translate the software in your language. Within RACI, we have a parameter set of more than 800 parameters. And that gives us, of course, the flexibility to have, at the end, everything set up in a solution that the customer wants. So every parameter could lead the system to a different behavior. And with these many parameters, you're very flexible in setting up your processes. And that's also necessary for it. And with these processes and this concept behind that, it guarantees reliable and fast support, because we only have one clean software stand which we roll out to the customers. So at the end, every of our customers has the same program files and program code. The program is only acting different because of the parameters, and that makes it easy for us to update the programs from one release to the other one, because there is no merging or whatever necessary at this. Yeah, we have, especially for this recycling industry, the largest functionality among all our vendors. So that's also a big topic, and you will see at the following slides and about the presentation where we are very strong and what kind of functionalities are in the software and how these could be used for your processes. We have a complete integration of the financial, CRM, logistics, production, preventive maintenance, and BI. So it's really from A to Z, like I mentioned in my title. We have interfaces also for third-party financials. For example, if you're using SAP, that's no problem, or Navision, we can also provide interfaces there so that you need just use the core part like logistics and ERP, and for financials you use your system what you have already in place at the moment. Yeah, high flexibility. Also in regards that it's a standardized software. Of course, what we mentioned, an excellent support with high customer satisfaction, and the implementation time is very fast, because we have to set up the parameter, and it's not necessarily that programming has to be done, because as we have a big broad of customers and different processes already programmed into the software, it's more than just showing the functionality and setting up the parameters and not programming your processes in detail, because they are normally already within the system. And that's possible because we are just exclusively focused on this recycling and waste management industry. So let's take a look at the general workflow. I just mentioned a rough workflow, how it would look like in a company. So first stage, you would have some kind of contacting to the customer or to the prospect at this moment. Then you will agree about the purchase and sale. At a defined point, you have the dispatch for the shipment, the in or outgoing of the material. Afterwards, you're going to print or perform the invoice and the settlement. Then the payment is done, and at the end you have a reporting. How would that look like if we are taking a look through the glasses of the software? The contacting could be done, for example, within the CRM module. So there you have the possibility to enter your phone calls, to add activities, to do mailings and things like that. Then the agreement about the purchase and sales will be handled with a contract or also other functionalities like a price file. The dispatch, it's the same, it's a Mulco module, the dispatch program there. The in and outgoing of the material is done with a scale program and a grading app. We'll follow up on that later on. The invoice and settlement program is also within the RACI program, purchase and sales. Payment is done within the accounting, and the reporting could be done in various, or at least in nearly every of the different modules. So depending on what kind of data you want to see. You could have RACI, Mulco, the accounting, or the BI system to take a look into your statistics or the reporting. Yeah, to give you a quick overview about the different modules and what is included there, please keep in mind that this is, of course, just a short list of what is included, because we cannot take everything onto the slides, then we're just too long within the session. So for RACI, the business management system, like I mentioned, we have a possibility to use the scale program, of course. So there are interfaces to the electronic scales. We are very strong in stock management and also in the evaluation price. And yeah, then contract management, also one of the key functionalities, which is used very often, of course, and strong integrated into the process. And another example would be the freight cost control, which is done at the end of the process as soon as your carrier will invoice you for the transport. If you're doing the transport on your own, you have your logistics module, the Mulco. There you have the possibility to manage your fleet and container. There is a telematics system with a single container tracking possibility. There are also some of the slides following up on these points. Then we have the accounting module. So there you got the accounts for the receivables and payables, fixed assets, cost center reporting, and also DMS interfaces, so for document management systems like Docubis and Easy Archive. And the CRM, the customer relationship management module, where you could track activities, every user for himself or also for a group of users. It could also be used as a trading module, or no, not trading, a trader module, because we have a mobile app. So especially if the trader is going to the customer and want to take a last look before the visit in the activities of the customer, he can do it with a mobile app. He can take a look, what are the activities, what are the open invoices, are there any information I need to know before entering the door? And that could be very helpful for the trader, or also, of course, the management board of you, depending who's visiting the customer. So we got a lot of mobile apps also. So this is one of the key parts within the processes. Keep the points as paperless as possible. And that's how we try to act with the mobile apps. So we have the mobile CRM, like I told you just a few seconds before, which could be used for the customer visits. We have a mobile scale and a mobile grading. So these are two different processes. Mobile grading, for example, if the truck is entering on the yard and is unloading the material, then it will be graded directly, and the user at the scale, when the second weighing is done, directly sees the information. What was the material? How did it look like? And yeah, we will see more details on that in a slide later on. We have a possibility or an app for the overseas container and for telematics, and yeah, the single container tracking to scan the container numbers. And there is also an app for the access control to the yard. So various different possibilities. Yeah, a lot of information. How does that look like in a more, let's say, sliced overview? If we are taking a look into the RACI product portfolio, we have on top the RACI, that's the base with all the master data like customer suppliers, commodities, the sites, the different companies, VAT codes, and so on. And we have an archive or the BI system, which is also, let's say a little bit under that. And then we have the 4 different colored areas below the archive and BI sector, where we can see what kind of data or what kind of processes and programs are included in these different parts of the modules. So for the RACI business management, we have the price management, for example, contracts, LME, FX deals. We have the scaling processes, invoicing, claims, cashbox. Like you can see on top, we have possibilities to scan IDs of the miscellaneous persons, to add or to integrate signature pads or image capturing. We can do grading or also other photo apps, and also production program, for example, or overseas. So within this logistics part, we have the fleet and container management. We have all the trucks and tracking of the trucks, or also of the single containers. There is also waste management, depending on the region. We also have a slide for that. The fleet system for the telematic, and also an app which is just concluding that. Then financials, financials, I guess it's quite the same within every system. So we have the important part is that 80% of the transactions automatically are generated from the business management part. So they are just put over to the accounting part. We can use a cost center reporting or profit center reporting. We can have fixed assets or the document management. And on the right-hand side, the the customer relationship management with the activities, projects, quotes, mail shots, whatever, and the app for the CRM. So let's take a look a little more in detail. How does that look like? Not only describing, but also showing how the programs look and feel. If we start with the Mulco part and the telematic, we can see that this is the view on the app. So we have a mobile app, which is just installed like we normally install apps on such an interface like a Samsung tablet, for example. And what kind of functionalities do we have there? So the truck driver can take the weight also on the truck. So going on the scale, pressing the button that he wants to take the weight, and then just going through. So this means that also your performing or your opening hours for your internal trucks of the scale could be enlarged, and it must not be from 8 to 5, for example. The driver has the possibility to exchange messages with the dispatcher. He can also take photos of the containers. He can do the mobile grading, can take signatures of the customer, and he can also create own runs within the app. And as you can see in the second screenshot, there we have an overview of the open runs at the truck. So as soon as he then finished one of them, it will just disappear on this board, and the dispatcher also gets the information and can send him a follow-up run, for example, for the next ride. Mulco in general, like also mentioned before, we have the container and truck management. The container accounts for the industrial locations, so you can also have a clear state how many containers of which size and what should be the commodity within the container is at which of my customers, and especially at which of the customer locations. because one customer could, of course, have different locations. Yeah, you can create the runs, dispatch them, and have the fleet reporting. And what you also got is the internal freight calculation of your own trucks. You can perform automatic service charges, which means that if you're invoicing, like for example, transport fees to the customer, you can automatically let the system create these items for your invoicing department, so that not the dispatcher or the one who's doing the invoicing has to think, was there anything special, or do I have to perform the transport fee for customer ABC but not for customer BCD, for example. You can have the container rentals also within the system and the general container stock management. And there are also reporting parts like the driver and truck reporting. So about the fleet control, so how's the view of the dispatcher on the program? You can see that we have a view or a program like the fleet control dashboard. And the dispatcher sees a column for every of his trucks with the different runs on the trucks. You can also see the status of the run because of the different colors. And this gives the dispatcher very fast a good overview about what is the status, who is working on what kind of run, and when, for example, is the truck expected at the customer location. If he wants to know that in particular more detailed, he can also take a look into the GPS coordinates of the truck. So there is a live tracking of the different trucks, so that the dispatcher always has control about the information who or which truck is at the moment at which location, or how far is it to arrive at the location. As soon as the truck is coming back to the own yard, the scale program would be the first point of contact for him, of course. And if the scale master is performing the weighing and not the truck driver himself, there are different possibilities, like using multiple weighing, like for example also taking first weight on the truck scale and then proceed that for the metal commodities on the load to the metal scale. There could be weighing photos be taken. That's the next slide. You can use combination weighing. You can do intra-company and intercompany weighings, and also signatures. And at that part, if it's private person, for example, or whoever, to have the signature on the scale ticket. So the weighing photos could be taken automatically. So we mostly have these kind of robotics cameras which are compatible with IP and could be automatically steered by every weighing. So what's the benefit for you? You have, of course, control of the quality because you got the photos directly linked to the depending position which was weighed. You can prevent fraud, and that's all archived within the system. So as soon as then the material was dropped on the yard, the grader would arrive, and there we have the mobile app which I mentioned before. So as you can see within the screenshot on the right-hand side, the grader has the possibility to select different materials. He can also perform a split of the materials or add adjustments like dirt, like quality adjustment, like water, for example. And he can also take photos directly from the depending material, and that is also linked back to the position and is available through the archive. And this is, for example, an app which is available for iOS and Android, so it doesn't matter if you're using an iPhone or Samsung or Huawei or whatever kind of smartphone. And that's how it could look like with the photo in detail. Yeah, we also got the other apps like taking photos independently from the weighing or allocate finished goods to the customer who should receive it, or to take container photos, especially in the overseas process flow. You have the containers which are loaded, and you could take these container photos in advance, including the seal number or the photo of the seal, and put it into the system for the later ongoing process. If you have a private person, you might be interested in the ID scan module. So it's also fully integrated into the program. We have an automatic read of the data, so it's just needed that you have the ID or the driver license of the person standing in the front of the window, and it just takes around 10 seconds, and then you can see on the right bottom corner how the data is extracted from the ID or from the driver license and put into the system, so that you have not to type it manually, and that's also everything archived within the system, so that you have all the information for later processes available. If we are going back to the yard, that the material was unloaded and now you're going to process it in some kind of way, so you could have a shredder, you could have a different kind of production environment. So there are different possibilities, of course, and we can then integrate that in the production process or within the production program. So you have possibilities to use different methods. You can activate your production costs, and at the end, as soon as you post the production, it will actualize your stock. And that's of course also very important. If you have the ingoing material A and you produce, or you have outgoing material B, C, and D from this production process, you want to have a correct stock, of course, so that everyone knows what is on my yard, what kind of commodity could be sold, for example, and what's the exact quantity of these different commodities. Yeah, then just a quick extraction of some more parts of the RACI program. Like I said, we have the contract management. This also includes dispatch of the contracts. You could perform advance payments within the system. You can link the contracts and especially your commodities to market prices and to market commodities like copper or aluminium. And you can also use freight rates, meaning that your carrier gives you kind of price list about what would it cost from A to B if I'm driving the material for you, and that could be entered into the system and used for then the later process, that you automatically have the correct calculated freight prices within the system. Yeah, the stock management, meaning that you always have an accurate actual stock evaluation with the different sorting apps. And also, of course, the stock of the containers is included or is relevant for that. Then we have the invoicing, so printing invoices, settlements, cash box tickets. We can have adjustments directly on the positions of invoices and settlements, or you do claims afterwards. You can have the freight cost control and invoicing for intra and intercompany shipments. And we got the waste management. That depends on the country version you're acting with. So just as an example, we have the ENV for Germany, we have ABIL for Austria, FEFA for Switzerland, LMA for Netherlands, and many more. So depending on what kind of country version you're working on, you could automatically perform waste reporting, which could then be forwarded to the different ministerials of or the government. One other program part I want to show you is the overseas program. So here we got the possibility to have booking requests, for example, for the containers that you request a booking of 2, 3, 10, whatever kind of count of containers. You can then enter the ship loads, and you can see in the bottom screenshot that you can enter all the relevant information, like what's the vessel name, what's the port of loading, port of destination, what's my ETD and ETA, what's the final destination, do I have a cutoff date, and so on. So everything what is then entered within these kind of programs could also be used for creating international documents. So these kind of documents could be created by yourself within the system. We have a very simple functionality using Word templates where you can just create your certificate of quality, certificate of quantity, your non-wood certificate, your letter of credit, whatever. Every kind of overseas document could be performed out of the system with a very simple process and a simple kind of way, and it will save you a lot of time if it's correctly entered in the system. Then we got a whole or a bunch of statistics and reports where I just mentioned a few of them. So analysis of purchase and sales in a very detailed way. You can see all the different items, and you could see up to the GL account on which that single position was posted, or you can also see when the first and second weighing was done and things like that. We have a brokerage result. So for the brokerage transaction from customer A directly to customer B, not touching the yard, for example. We have gross margin report, where you got all your sales, purchases, claims, freights, and so on, so that you see your gross margin at the end, and you also got a gross margin by customer vendor. We got the metal position report, which is relevant, for example, if you are trading with LME commodities like copper and aluminium, and you have your own contracts for copper cable with 37% copper content, for example, that could all be calculated within the software and to give you a clear overview at the end if you're short or long in your metal position. We got the purchase sales information system, or also inter and intra-company control report. And of course, a lot of more other reports. That was just a quick overview to show you some of them, or to mention some of them. We had the electronic archive in a few before going slides. And yeah, how does that look like? Every document which is generated out of the system could be directly or will directly be saved in the archive system. So it's fully integrated in the process. We also see all the different photos which are taken, like from the scale or from the grading process or whatever. And you have the possibility to print and mail the different documents to the customer again if he lost it or whatever kind of reason. And that makes you very flexible and fast, not taking a look at physical folders within the office, just taking a look into the electronic archive. Yeah, and the accounting part, we had most of the topics already mentioned before. Just also a quick overview, not going too detailed into this program and also not into the CRM, just to give you some of the heads up, because we have a fixed time frame, but of course we are looking forward for your contact, and then we can also give you, of course, a closer look into these kind of programs here. What do we got into? In the accounting, we got the payables, receivables, we got fixed assets, cost center and profit center reporting, automatic payments like checks and electronic bank transfers. We got credit limit control, which is also very relevant and important for the process and for many of our customers. We got a cash flow control and already mentioned interfaces to document management systems. Within the CRM, we have the activities, like creating activities for phone calls, for some kind of mailings, for visits at the customer. You got a calendar with possibilities for reminders. Can do price mailings, queries within the system. You can also integrate your telephone system like Swix or Procall. So also there are many different functionalities. And at the end, some overviews on BI dashboards. So you might know some different BI systems. We use IBM Cognos in the background. And with that, you have all the information from RACI, Molko, FIBU, doesn't matter, and can use or can create your own dashboards, like for performance and risk dashboards. You could also have yard performance, where you can see your incoming and outgoing material, the top vendors, the top commodity groups with the quantity and the value. So it's very flexible. You got a possibility to create a trading risk dashboard, for example, or to use it as a planning tool where you can see the actual versus the budget, and you can then see all the different calendar month, the actual month, year to date, year total, with the gross margin, with fixed costs, whatever kind of information, with your head count. And at the end, you see if you're going on the right line or if it might be needed to do some adjustments there. These were the programs in detail. So giving you a quick overview about some of our references or some of our customers. We got a lot of customers in, of course, Europe, in Germany, in international regions like America and Canada. So just a quick overview about some of the different countries so that you get a feeling how present we are in these different countries already. So we got here some of the UK customers. here we got a handout or overview about the Netherlands customers or Dutch customers. And here from an international perspective, also with the big ones like TSR, like Scholz, Loacker, Commercial Metals. And yeah, so they are happy with us for years. And I guess it would be a good starting point, maybe also for you after that kind of presentation, or after giving you the information about what the software can fulfill for your processes, how you could use it for your daily business. And of course, we are looking forward to get in contact with you. Just contact us and we will give you a heads up. And if you want also a more detailed presentation or a live demonstration about the different parts of the software, can give you closer information on that. And yeah, let's go ahead. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation, the overview about the software, and we're looking forward to hear from you. Thanks so far. See you. Bye.
Well, thank you, Christian, for that presentation. Thank you all for attending. Please just head over to their booth at EREC, where you will find further information as well as the contact data again, and can of course go into the live chat with them as well. Thank you for being here. I would love to have you back for our next presentation starting at 12. And this will be from Emmanuel Katrakis about the new CEAP in a post-crisis situation, a recycler's perspective. So I'm excited for that. I hope you will be there too. Have a nice day and a nice weekend after that. Bye-bye.